I come from a town called Bogujevci, which is in Kosovo. I lived in a small house with my older sister Nora and my two younger sisters Johanna, Lyria, and my youngest brother Gens. I've got really good memories. It was just a great atmosphere. As a kid, you can't really understand what's going on until it really blows up.
Vllazërim dhe bashkim. Shumë ide e mirë. Po tani sërbët na pushuan të gjithë nga puna. Dhe na mbushën përplot me frikë. Shkollat tona u mbyllën, gjuha jonë u ndalua, fshqinjet u nda në dysh, dhe tani, ai që na shiste vezë, na ka thyer zemrën time të plakur.
Quick question.
Yeah.
For you. How do you, the tone, what would you like to do?
Imagine that everything you're saying is happening right in front of you.
Yeah.
Like you're watching a movie.
Yeah.
And
you
narrating.
describe it. Yeah. Okay, cool.
So
Yeah.
it's this kind of disassociation.
Yeah.
But also like
It's really
powerful because it's real in
Yeah.
front of you.
Okay.
But none of this like, oh my god.
No. No, I'm not going to. But it's hard not to do that with the Albanian though.
Okay.
When I was reading that, it was hard not to get emotional with what I'm saying
Even
here.
if it happens,
Yeah.
go with it. But
You know?
remember, what is your objective?
Yeah.
It's to relay the facts.
Yeah. 'Cause I just remember Jacob fucking burned. So, you know.
The smell.
The soldiers crossed from Serbia into Kosovo, straight into the municipality of Bogujevci, into our streets and past our windows, where we put our nose to the glass so we can see their faces. Then we dug down and out of sight. There are tanks on our streets. There are convoys of tanks passing through our town, going through village to village. The news is they are targeting villages. This is when I discover what target means. Ne, I djegën shtëpiat. 2, I tutin njerëz me lanë shtëpiat aty ne. 3, ples të nga zhak valizet në përfusha. 4, kom shit, I gjojnë senet mas flakës. 5, lotat e fëmijëve djeg në shkrum. 6, një naz martese. 7, kocka. There are 20,000 hours in a day.
We wrote the poem with our English tutor, Mr. Brown. And the line 20,000 hours a day kind of explained how between the time of when the NATO airstrikes took place and us being shot and taken to Pristina Hospital. As a kid, those were the worst days because everything starts to change from like being a kid and going to school, and then everything suddenly changes.
The war. So close now, it's in our streets and outside our houses.
And then you start hearing gunshots and airstrikes and bombs and just having to stay up all night. I think those times were the scariest for us.
Okay, camera's rolling.
Shall I lower the brightness of my pen?
It's not a problem at all.
We've seen innocent people taken from their homes,
forced to kneel in the dirt and sprayed with bullets.
Kosovar
men dragged from their families, fathers and sons together, lined up and shot in cold blood.
Sorry. When I grow up, I'm gonna call my children Bill and Tony.
Even if they're girls.
This is not war. It is an attack by tanks and artillery on a largely defenseless people whose leaders already have agreed to peace.
Kosovo is Albania.
Kosovo is Serbia.
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 So much of our history has been erased in the sense of it's just not talked about. We know it, we experienced it, it wasn't that long ago, and yet people are just not aware about it. Unfortunately, again, history keeps repeating itself.
Kosovo is Albania.
Kosovo is
Shibni.
Serbia.
Shibni.
Serbia.
Shibni.
Serbia.
Shibni.
When the world is witness to massacres, war crimes, crimes against humanity and genocide, and yet turns away as if these things are not happening, it is more important than ever to hear the stories of the victims and the survivors, to keep memories alive and to never forget the cost of war to the families caught up in it. I wrote this play because the experience of teaching refugees in Manchester in 1999 always stayed with me.
Amriam Asht.
I've always wanted to tell stories that give agency to people where their voice is taken away.
Yam Asht. Amriam Asht.
And
Amriam Asht.
I think this story really resonated because the Bogujevci children took back that agency themselves. They'd already done that when they gave evidence.
Amriam Asht.
25 years ago, as a 13-year-old, I survived a massacre from the Serbian army, which was then led by men who actually are leading the country now, and were part of that regime.
I met Saranda. It was actually outside a bar in Bogujevci. She was campaigning for the election, and I was there with my husband and 3 little children, and she was a figure larger than life.
I don't want to testify.
A young woman sat having a coffee outside a bar in her hometown where she'd experienced a massacre.
I don't want to be extraordinary.
The power of her warmth and her humanity was palpable.
I want to see Nora.
I remember going back to Zagreb, like I think in 2010 or 11, and I remember there was a hotel that I remember as a little kid that when I went back it was all burnt, and when I went there this time around it was beautiful, and honestly to God I stopped and I cried in the car, and there was there's an old man who came up to the window. He like, even now, as you can see, it's hard to talk about things. The old man just said to me in Albanian, "Është kry." It's like it's done. It's like it's finished. Isn't like it's not like war anymore.
Cool. Camera's already rolling. Focus set.
Twitter, you ready? And action.
To tell our story, we will need to 1. Think about what happened. 2. Remember what we tried to forget.